American Fugitive by Xingo Zhang. Chapter 27 The Second Plan. After Ren-Yee left, Luo Yanfang saw a restaurant sign nearby. She remembered that it was past lunchtime. But she had no appetite for a lunch. She then saw a coffee shop and entered. She found an empty table and sat down. He got what he wanted and left immediately. Of course, she knew this would happen from the start. It's useless to blame Ren-Yee for being cruel. She knew she had to be calm and rational. What should I do now? Yanfang remembered the words hide and live, Ren-Yee's last advice to her. I have been a cadre of the Communist Party, and have worked for the party for many years. Yanfang's mind began to calm down. She knew she could not rely on close relatives or friends, because Xiao Zichang would know them. She thought of her middle school classmate Wang Weiping, whose name had never been mentioned in front of Xiao Zichang. She had not contacted Wang Weiping for a long time, although in middle school, the two were very close friends. It should be possible to hide at her place for a while. In order to avoid being detected, Yanfang made a Wi-Fi call to Wang Weiping. Yanfang said, Xiao Zichang and I are separated now. What happened? Wang Weiping was surprised. I am getting a divorce. Xiao Zichang became mad and he hired thugs to assault me. That is terrible. I need a place to hide. Can you help? Wang Weiping told Yanfang her home address and asked Yanfang to meet her at her home. Around 1:30 in the afternoon, Yanfang took a taxi to Wang Weiping's place. When the two friends met, they very excited and hugged for a long time. Wang Weiping's home was a nice apartment. The decoration was tasteful. Yanfang asked, Your husband won't object, right? Wang Weiping said, Wait until he comes back tonight. There shouldn't be a problem. A little later, Wang Weiping went back to her work. Yanfang had felt guilty because Ren-Yee had been beaten by Xiao Zichang in prison. She once complained to Ren-Yee for being shy, and encouraged him to be manly. Now Yanfang felt abandoned. How stupid I am! Kind and just. What a name! In the afternoon, a group of policemen sealed off the apartment building where Jin Yong-Shee and Xu Shufan lived. Police searched the apartment, took away everything from Ren-Yee's room. Mr. and Mrs. Jin knew that the matter had become very serious. They worried about Ren-Yee. Mrs. Jin wondered whether she misunderstood her son-in-law the previous night. She began to pray for Ren-Yee. Ren-Yee's first plan for leaving China was by plane. After the fight with the three thugs, and being spotted by Xiao Zichang, he knew the first plan became impossible. After Ren-Yee contacted Lu Dingfeng by phone, the two decided to go with the second plan. In the afternoon, Ren-Yee bought a new backpack, a new cell phone, and an MP3 recorder in a shop in Hankow. He bought a few plastic sandwich bags, put the cassette in 2 layers of bags, and sealed them. He also bought sunglasses, a hiking hat, daily necessities and some fruits. He thought about his blunt attitude toward Luo Yanfang earlier, and felt guilty. But he knew he had no other choice. He had a big responsibility, which was to bring the audio cassette to the United States. He hoped his cruel attitude toward her had made her see the situation clearly, and so she could find a safe place to hide quickly. In the evening, according to a previous agreement with Lu Dingfeng, Ren-Yee found a Chinese fast food restaurant called Xiang Dang Dang. He ordered a meal, found a table and ate by himself, without taking off his hiking hat. He remembered Lu Dingfeng's words 2 days earlier. When the police questioned Lin Janhan where he got his pistol, Janhan replied, I bought the pistol from a stranger at KFC. One can buy not only fried chicken, but also a pistol at KFC. That's funny. Ren-Yee smiled. Halfway through the meal, a short, fat man carrying a plastic shopping bag came to his table and sat down. The man asked, Did you bring your money? Ren-Yee replied, I did. The man stretched out 2 fat fingers. Ren-Yee took out an envelope from his pocket containing 2,000 yuans and handed it to the man. The man opened the envelope under the table and counted. Then he took out a canvas bag from his plastic bag and handed it to Ren-Yee. Ren-Yee opened the bag and saw a pistol and 2 loaded magazines. Ren-Yee nodded and put the canvas bag into his backpack. The fat man said, "You never saw me, and I never saw you." Ren-Yee smiled and nodded again. The man stuffed the empty plastic bag into his pocket and left the restaurant. At night, Ren-Yee walked on a secluded road in Hankow. Trees on both sides of the road blocked the street lights, making the sidewalks quite dark. Ren-Yee walked close to a tree and called Jin Yong-Shee. "I need to hide at a friend's place for a few days. Please use the landline at home to contact our parents. Just tell them I will stay with friends for a few days." Jin Yong-Shee asked anxiously, "Didn't you say you were ready to fly back? What are you going to do?" Ren-Yee said, "Don't worry. I'm fine. I'll keep in touch. You can't take any risks." "I won't. Pray for me." He knew she prayed for him often. Yong-Shee hoped that he would come home and go to church with her for a class on husband-wife relationship. She had a lot to tell him. But at the moment, she didn't know where to start. Jin Yong-Shee burst into tears. Ren-Yee said goodbye and hung up the phone. He had no time to comfort his wife. He knew it was unfair for him to hang up abruptly, but he had no other choice. Ren-Yee walked to an intersection and stopped under a tree. Knowing he would face dangers ahead, he prayed in his heart for safety. Moments later, a red car came and stopped nearby. Ren-Yee opened the car door and got into the passenger seat. The driver, with disheveled hair and black-rimmed glasses, turned out to be Gao Xingkun, who said, "The police are searching all trains, cars, and ferries in the city. They are looking for you." Ren-Yee asked, "Where is Luo Yanfang?" "Don't know. She is not on the wanted list." "Was she caught by the police?" "No. She must have hidden somewhere. She should be fine." Ren-Yee gave Gao Xingkun a plastic bag. "Everything the president needs is in here." Gao Xingkun gave a baseball cap and a pair of black-rimmed glasses to Ren-Yee. "You are on television. You have to be careful." Ren-Yee took the cap and glasses, and gave Gao 2 receipts. "I have a suitcase and a backpack stored at the Wanjin Hotel. Please send someone to take out those 2 items now." Ren-Yee gave Gao Xingkun the fake ID that Chen Deming bought for him and added, "They were stored with this ID card. Keep the luggage for me." "Okay." Ren-Yee and Gao Xingkun shook hands. Gao said, "Be careful." "Same to you." Ren-Yee got out of the car. The red car left. Ren-Yee put his hiking hat into the backpack and put on the glasses and baseball cap that Gao Xingkun had given him. He was sure both Tan Zhaohui and Li Baoxing were busy at work. They had not watched television nor read the newspaper. Ren-Yee walked into a roadside coffee shop and made a Wi-Fi call to Tan Zhaohui. Ren-Yee said in his hometown dialect, "This is Chang Minghua." Tan Zhaohui said in surprise, "Old Chang! What happened? This is a new number. I didn't know it was your phone number. Can I spend one night at your place?" Tan Zhaohui hesitated. "This is not convenient?" asked Ren-Yee. "There should be no problem. Where are you?" "I'm on a bus," said Zhaohui. Ren-Yee said, "I'll call you in an hour. You can tell me whether it will work then. There should be no problem. Just come." "Okay. Goodbye." "Goodbye." Ren-Yee walked to a bus stop and waited. 5 minutes later, he got on a bus headed for Tan Zhaohui's apartment. Not many people were on the bus. Ren-Yee sat near the back end. He saw a young man next to him playing games on his mobile phone. Does Tan Zhaohui also play games on the bus? Maybe he is reading the news. Tan Zhaohui was hesitant. Did he read the news that I am wanted? Ren-Yee pulled his cap down a little more. 50 minutes later, Ren-Yee got off the bus. After walking for 10 minutes, he stopped about 100 meters away from Tan Zhaohui's apartment. He stood next to a building, observing his surroundings quietly. Without seeing anything unusual, Ren-Yee walked to Tan Zhaohui's apartment and knocked on the door. Li Baoxing opened the door and said, "Brother is back again?" Ren-Yee said, I'm back. Xiaohui told me. It's okay to stay for 2 days, said Baoxing. The two walked into the bedroom. Tan Xiaohui sat on his bed, leaning against the headboard, playing a game on his cell phone. He quickly nodded to Ren-Yee, and returned to his game. Ren-Yee saw the old mattress was still there. He put his bag next to it, and lay down. Li Baoxing sat on his own bed. Baoxing said, Your last name is not Chang. Ren-Yee immediately sat up, and Li laughed loudly. Ren-Yee said, If my last name is not Chang, what is it? Baoxing said, Just kidding. Ren-Yee breathed a sigh of relief and lay down again. It would have been better if I had asked Gao Shengkuan for a place to stay. Oh, well. Gao Shengkuan also has a lot to do. Ren-Yee opened his backpack and took out 3 red apples. He gestured to Baoxing, who nodded with a smile. Ren-Yee tossed him an apple. Xiaohui put down his phone. Ren-Yee threw one to him as well. Xiaohui wiped the apple with his hand and began to eat. Baoxing and Ren-Yee went to the kitchen to wash their apples. Moments later, the two came back and started eating. Xiaohui said, I saw lots of policemen when my bus passed the long-distance bus terminal today. I don't know who they're after. Baoxing said, I saw that too. Ren-Yee said, I didn't see. Xiaohui said, A human rights lawyer slipped away 2 months ago. I wonder if he was caught? Baoxing said, He was caught. It doesn't matter whether he was caught. Nobody will defend human rights anymore. Xiaohui complained. Baoxing said, It's common people like us against the government. How can we win? He turned to Ren-Yee. What do you think, brother? Ren-Yee hesitated for a moment before replying. You are right. Ren-Yee stood up and took a towel out of his backpack, ready to go to the bathroom. Baoxing asked, Why did you buy a new backpack? What happened to the old one? I lost it. What's in your new backpack? Ren-Yee was annoyed. Why does this guy have so many questions? Does he know something? Ren-Yee did not answer. He threw the apple core in his hand at the trash can by the door. It bounced on the edge of the rim and fell inside. Xiaohui saw it and exclaimed, That's awesome. Ren-Yee smiled. Baoxing said, That's easy. I don't think you can make the shot. Xiaohui said. Baoxing was not happy. Look at me. Baoxing prepared to throw his apple core. Xiaohui said, You are no goo. Before Xiaohui could finish his sentence, the apple core flew out of Baoxing's hand, went over the trash can, bounced on the wall, and fell on the floor. Ren-Yee and Xiaohui laughed out loud. Baoxing said, It would have definitely gone in if you hadn't talked. Xiaohui said, You just don't have the skill. If you hadn't talked, I would have made it. Baoxing insisted. Ren-Yee walked to the door. He was ready to wash up and go to bed. He said, Stop quarreling. Let's go to sleep. All 3 men were tired and went to bed after taking turns to wash. All 3 got up early in the morning. After getting rent from Ren-Yee, Xiaohui left for work. Ren-Yee packed his belongings and left the bedroom. Baoxing asked, Will you be back? Ren-Yee said, No. Where are you going? I have some business I need to take care of. Be careful. They are looking for you. Ren-Yee was taken aback. How do you know? After I got home last night, I read the news on my phone and saw the wanted list. Does Tan Xiaohui know? He doesn't know. He was playing his games. You won't report me? No, I won't. Behave as if you don't know me. Someone on the internet commented, It will be a good thing to find out the truth behind Lin Biao's death. I agree. Just behave as if you don't know anything. Baoxing nodded. Ren-Yee put on his glasses and cap, shook hands with Li Baoxing, and recited an old Chinese saying. We are as close as if we were related, because we share the same hometown. Baoxing smiled. After leaving the apartment, Ren-Yee went to a small restaurant and ordered a bowl of hot dry noodles. Then he took a bus to Hanyang Dongkayuan Pier on the Han River. It was less than 6 miles away from the Han River's meeting point with the Yangtze. There was a strong wind in the morning, and some dust in the air. The clouds were very low, and it looked like rain was coming. Many cargo ships were docked along the shoreline. Ren-Yee boarded one such ship.